Mr. Rajesh Ahuja, Managing Director of Sleek International, and Ajay Seth, CEO of at Hometown at Hindware Home Retail Limited, popularly known as Evoke. Evoke is the brand that we are more familiar with. And between the two of them, we have an enterprise which manufactures kitchens and is a strong retail brand. And another one is a pure retailer. So I think we are going to get very unique perspectives from both these gentlemen. And I'm going to take this discussion through 4 or 5 specific points which relate to the businesses of kitchens. And the first thing I'd like to throw to you is competitive edge. What gives competitive edge to any kitchen business today? So I have listed out 6 points, and I'll ask each of you, which do you rate high? Price, design, brand name, quality, location, after sales service. So these are the 6 points which I have listed out: price, design, brand name, quality, location, after sales service. Which of these do you rate the highest with respect to competitive edge? Rajesh, would you like to take this and rank them?
Hello. Location as the first one, as that becomes the place where you are able to calculate what will be the average footfalls into your outlet. Second most important thing I would rate is the after sales service, which in turn actually helps you to build your brand name, because that becomes the important factor of it. Then comes the design, quality, and last is the price.
So I am the other way around. I would rate price the most as a retailer. Location comes the second. After sales service the third. The brand name comes the fourth, and quality comes the last.
That's interesting. You said first is price.
First is the price, then location, then after sales, then brand name, design, brand name, and then location.
Quality.
Yeah.
Quality you are putting
Yes.
as last.
Yes, yes.
So Rajesh said he ranks location first, whereas Ajay says location is 2. According to Rajesh, after sales service is the second most important point to give you competitive edge in your kitchen business, whereas Ajay says it's 3. Right? 3? Right. According to Rajesh, design is number 3. Design is brand name is 3. And brand name is 3 and design is 4. Okay. And according to Ajay, the third most important point is after sales service. Design according to Rajesh is 4 and 4 as well for Ajay. But interestingly, quality ranks last for Ajay, whereas for Rajesh, the last point is price. Right. So are we seeing a difference in these perceptions because of your business models? Do you think you being a pure retailer and you also involved heavily into manufacturing, from each of your perspectives, do you think price becomes more important in retail and less in manufacturing because you have that cushion at the manufacturing end? I'll put this to Ajay first.
See, price is the topmost thing from a retailer perspective, as you have rightly pointed out, because you have different stages of sales getting converted into an order. And wherever I have been physically present in terms of conversion of an order, the unfortunate part is the most of the discussions are around price only. It's not around usability. It's not around functionality. It's not around ergonomics, which should have been an ideal way of closing a deal. So from a retailer experience perspective, price becomes the most important point.
I beg to differ here because when I started my career and even now, I'm quite closely associated with selling as a process. Now, yes, price is very, very important, but price is a composition which a consumer looks at from what is he getting in terms of the product and what is he getting in terms of the service. So the same thing, it's like if I go for a tea in a 3-star, if I'm paying 100 rupees, I find it's good price. If I go to a 5-star, I pay 550. I feel that's a good price. So what kind of ambience, what kind of service, what kind of comfort are we giving? Kitchen is a product which a consumer is buying almost for 15 years. So he is very keen to know that the person who's actually selling him the product, has he understood his needs properly? Has he understood his requirements properly? Will the products he's using serve him? Will he be happy with it? If that process is taken very well, price becomes pretty secondary for very important decisions like whenever we go to buy a flat, we want to go buy a car. Though we have a budget in our mind, when we close the transaction, we comfortably exceed the budget. So kitchen becomes a category which is very passionate to a person, whoever is ready. Because if it was only price, I feel it could have been done easily by a carpenter contractor. I'm going to a modular kitchen shop because I want something special. And the person who's able to create that wow for me, I don't mind escalating my price slightly.
You also, Rajesh, you placed brand at number 3, whereas Ajay, according to you, brand is 5th most important in this list of things that provide the competitive edge. So I see a linkage between brand and pricing. So if you have a strong brand, then probably pricing becomes less important. Have you experienced this at Evoke?
See, it's like this that, it all depends that what type of segment you are targeting. From an Evoke perspective, I am not selling premium kitchen or luxury kitchens. I am selling somewhere around low to mid segment kitchen. And in a place like a Delhi or a Mumbai or a Calcutta, you have lots and lots of players selling that kitchens. And today, as Mr. Ahuja also told, that today the option of to a consumer vis-a-vis same specs, vis-a-vis the same design, vis-a-vis the same type of external fascia, there are today a lot of options which are available to a consumer. So that is the reason it all depends. Whether you are selling a premium luxury segment, the target audience is that, then the price becomes irrelevant. However, in that segment, slowly and slowly you are seeing a lot of competition. And I have seen many competitors also within our retail industry, wherein, for an example, a pantry unit, the pantry unit could have a wooden shelf also, it could have a proper brand X branded hardware also. The discussion is that if you delete this, the price will come down to this. If you delete this, if you use Asian hardware, the price will come down to this. So the problem is a bigger problem. Sleek or Mr. Ahuja would have been facing a different problems. I could be facing the different problems.
Right.
Right. So the problem is, we are, for example, having this forum 4th in row now. Have we ever talked about the Indian kitchen in any case? We are not talking ergonomics. We are not talking functionality. We are not talking of usability in our sales talk itself. Then the price becomes a bigger discussion rather than all those issues. So that's the core issue.
But at the retail end, do you have the luxury of talking all these issues like functionality and ergonomics and all uh, in a very nice, comfortable, secure retail environment?
If you see what Mr. Wolf presented in terms of ambience of a store, the similar ambience is provided in our company also. We have the similar experience, we have the similar design units or design experience centers placed in our stores. The customer undergoes a massive exercise along with us in terms of designing a kitchen. But conversion points, he will have 6 or 7 quotes in hand, same specs, same everything, and then the discussion is primarily on pricing. That is the problem which I am facing.
Do you experience similar situations of conversions and quotes in hand?
I can only state one thing. If I observe 2 designers in my one outlet, the conversion factor from an input to an output between one designer and a second designer ranges from 33% to almost 75 to 80%. Now in the same outlet, if 2 designers are closing, the company is the same, the quality is the same, the brand is the same, the warranty is the same, the location is the same. Why do they close different? And it's not in one outlet, it's across the outlets.
By designer, you mean
person who's selling.
Acha, the seller.
The seller. So he's able to get difference. Now here the difference is what is the service and the passion the person who's selling the product is holding about it. In retailing, we say, as Jürgen also pointed out, retail is in detail. And the person who is actually into selling, how passionate is he about his category and his product, and how confident is he about his service, allows him to close better.
So that's probably the reason you ranked after sales service quite high, because that involves a lot of training and the sensitivity towards the customer and trying to bring him back for a second sale or a reference sale and all that. Okay, so I also see a lot of dependence on the business model, as I mentioned. If it's a pure retail, particularly if a retailer is involved in the entire gamut of home improvement, where kitchen is one of the products in the entire basket, I think that also would make a difference. Your spotlight is much more diffused, or you have probably other SKUs to take care of.
Yes, but we do also have specialty stores selling only kitchens also. One is recently opened in Mumbai also. So the challenge which we are facing, or probably all across other retailers would also be facing, is the skilled manpower. While conversion, in terms of our own conversions also, the ratio is somewhere between 25 to 60%. It is not as high as what Mr. Ahuja has pointed out. In our case, it is about 25% to about 55, 60%. And the problem is the skilled manpower, whether it is at a planning stage, whether it is at an installation stage. The problem is we as a fraternity or a community are not able to encourage or inject fresh blood in Indian kitchen industry. That's the major issue, I would say. So if you yourself see, though I have a baby in kitchen, in this kitchen industry as such, because I've been told by my colleague that most of the faces which are available here also remains the same. So that's a fear. I would say that's a challenge. Because unless we are able to attract youth in this structured kitchen modular industry, we won't be able to catch up. And somehow the Indian way of cooking will be lost. That's my concern.
Well, as far as the Indian way of cooking is concerned, I can assure you, is not going anywhere. Your other concern about training, we are trying to address it. As we go forward, you'll see at least some of your concerns being addressed today and tomorrow.
So let me ask you one simple question. Take an example of a Western world. The Western world, the cooking time is about, let's say, 10 to 15 minutes in the kitchen. Whereas in our kitchen, typically a housewife, right from chopping to onion till putting the vegetable takes about 1 hour, 1.5 hours, where that issue is being addressed. So, I mean, I could not be relevant in my,
No, it's a very relevant point, and I,
a house lady stands for
Absolutely,
about 1.5
absolutely.
hour, and we are not considering any ergonomics while selling our kitchens.
as I mentioned, at least this particular point, Mr. Vasani also brought up earlier, ergonomics, and the strain that comes on the bodies of the cooks in the house. And the association that is being set up, I think, is one step towards addressing that issue. But that is for later discussions. I'd like to move to a related point, and this will be the last point of this discussion, as I have just been signaled by Romit that you guys are not going anywhere, so it's better to put an end to this discussion. So, market segmentation. Since both of you are, you've got almost 13 outlets across, 19 outlets across India, and you, home retail outlets, and you've got almost 50, 31 and 18, 31 your own. So
Then comes the high-end Indian kitchen segment, where people clearly try and say that, yes, we want a brand, we want a good service, and we are ready to pay the price for it. They are the high-end Indian brand people who are playing into the segments. Then you come into the major segment, which is the mid-market segment, where quite a few players are playing in, where brand service mix comes into place. 90% of the market below is the value seekers, where people try to buy the components and do the kitchen themselves using the carpenter contractor. So even though we try and say that we have divided the market into 4 segments, 90% of the affording population still goes with the carpenter contractor. All the other 3 category segments comprise of only 10% of the organized segment.
what do you think, Ajay?
Right. I mean, I fully agree with Mr. Ahuja. And if you further bifurcate this 10%, about 10 to 15% is what the premium kitchen would be, the imported kitchen would be. 25 to 30% would be mid and entry level, a mid segment. And balance would be the entry level, which are just above the carpentry based kitchens. So more or less the figures remain the same. As far as the further bifurcation of 10%, mid segment is growing pretty heavily, and entry level is slowly depleting. So that's the, further bifurcation of that 10%.
So in your observation, the mid-market, where the brand and service value proposition there, that you think is shrinking in size, and the high end is growing?
No, the mid is growing.
Okay.
The
So
lower
that
po-
90%, the 90%, the pure value component plus carpenter combination, that is growing, that is shrinking in your opinion?
Yes, the other way.
So we are ultimately getting organized, so to say.
See, unfortunately, that 90% remains more or less the stagnant.
Or it's quite huge.
Yes.
The difference
so,
is not visible.
That remains more or less the stagnant. I am talking of balanced 10%
Okay.
bifurcation.
I would only say that the unorganized segment, as Jurgen also had pointed out in his presentation, that is growing at a speed of 10%, and the organized 10% is growing at a speed of 20%.
20%, right.
So the speed at which the organized segment is growing is much more higher than the unorganized, but the overall size of that segment is so small, that even if it is growing faster, it's not going to make a world of difference in the years to come.
Unless we bring it to a, say, 100% growth rate
Yes,
on that small base.
because the base is very, very small.
Would you like to put a price band to this in terms of per ticket size for each of these, like the imported branded segment? At what price band would this start? And the high-end Indian segment, and then the mid-market?
Now, the high-end Indian and the imported brands, you will have quite a bit of overlap in the segment. Like imported kitchens will start from 6 lakhs plus, though majority will be talking 10 lakhs plus. And the premium Indian brands, if you want to put it that way, they will also be starting at around 4.5 lakhs plus. Though some of them will be going to 25, 30 lakhs, but majority will be between the band of 4.5 to 10.
And the mid-market, which is the biggest segment?
The mid-market, if you want to say, will be the category which will start from around 1.5 lakhs to 4.5 lakhs.
So
Ajay, do you see the same
the
similar
mid-
ticket
the
size?
Mid, the mid remains the same. It starts at about 1.5 to 4.5. What Mr. Ahuja has told related to branded Indian kitchen, it will start at about 5 lakhs, ends at about 7.5 lakhs. Now the premium kitchen is a big thing. Because premium kitchen, you have brand A to F. ABC in our estimate starts at 10 to 15 lakhs and D to F starts at 5 lakh and ends at 10 lakhs. Though as Mr. Ahuja has rightly pointed out, they start with 10 but then they give denominator discount price and then give discount to 6 lakhs.
At each of these price bands, whatever market segment, is there a range of the number of units that may be sold per outlet in a month? At whatever price band, in whichever part of the country.
If you take a small shop, the average kitchen that outlet is selling is anywhere between 2 to 5 kitchens. But if you have a bigger setup, which is into kitchens, then the average kitchen which the outlet is targeting is ranging from around 7 to 15.
By bigger, you mean in terms of, say, square footage?
Size, yeah.
So what would be a bigger setup? What would it be like?
A carpet area of, you can say 1,000 plus.
Okay, 1,000 plus showroom could do, you said
8 to 15
8 to 15 kitchens a month.
a month. You have outlets which are doing much higher, but on an average retail kitchens, not
Retail.
projects.
No, not projects.
Around 8 to 15.
So 1,000 to 1,500 square feet, we are getting revenue at about 1,200 to 1,300 per square feet, which tantamounts to same. It sells about 8 to 12 types kitchens. Lesser size, the per square feet revenue comes to 1,000. It sells about 2 to 5 kitchens a month.
So you both have a similar experience, and so I think that would apply to most operations across the country. So I think I have got another signal that we need to close. So friends, in this brief curtailed CEO roundtable, I hope you have been able to get some insights into how the kitchen business is being run. At one end, which is the pure retail business model, and the other is the classical manufacturing plus retail business model. If you have any questions, Romit, do we have time for questions now? Okay, any questions?
Yes, sir.
Ranjanji, can we just give this gentleman a chance? I think you've spoken, if you don't mind. Thank you.
Hello, sir.
Thank you for your understanding.
Hello, sir. This is Aditya Mehta. I just want to know, sir, in the bigger kitchens, like where the ticket size are around 8 lakhs, 9 lakhs, or 10 lakhs. So it is just the hardware which goes up. It is not which we are producing out here. It is just the hardware which is the highest component on it. What the component of the components would be around like 1 lakh rupees at the most. What we give. So, as an industry of manufacturers of the components, the ticket size is not big anyhow. So how does a kitchen, selling a kitchen which benefits the maximum to the hardware manufacturers rather than the producer? So it all gets down to what, how you are sourcing your hardware. That is the only thing. Then how do you put it that in the retail context?
Could you get that?
Not very clear with your question. If you could rephrase it, it will be a little easier for us to understand.
Sir, it's just that the components in a kitchen, what we sell, the MDF boards or the particle boards or the plywood boards, it's a very small amount as compared to the hardware which is included in it. The hardware comes from Hafele, Heritage and all the big players. Many people source it from China and everywhere. So that is where they go down on the cost, and it is the biggest part of the cost of a kitchen. So how do we take care of that now? From a retailer's point of view.
I think what he's trying to say is that how can we benefit by a larger ticket size when in any kitchen a substantial part of the revenue goes towards hardware, which in any case is not their domain, which is to be outsourced. So, Ajay?
Now, when you say an average kitchen of 8 lakhs plus, now it's not important what's good for you, what's good for me. Let's think in the context of the end consumer which we are servicing. Because if we keep that consumer in perspective, then our decisions fall right. If you say hardware, hardware exactly is not the only major element of cost. It is a good quality hardware plus appliances which built up the value of a kitchen. Secondly, when you go in for Northern India, the size of the kitchens are so huge that even the wood part of the kitchen becomes substantial. Now a consumer is not buying a wood or a hardware or an appliance. He's buying the entire story which is comprising of these elements. So rather than being bothered about what's in it for me, if we care about what's in it for consumer, how can he spend higher and feel happier? So that the 10% of the market size which we are catering to becomes a reference base and spreads into the 90% of the market which can afford the kitchen. So if that focus is clear, we are in a win-win game. Rather than how do we make more out of that? That would be my context.
Okay, let me try to further elaborate what Mr. Ahuja has been telling. Let's take an example. You have kitchen A, kitchen B. Kitchen A and B has similar hardware. That is what you mean to say? The difference is only the size and the external aesthetics. Then Mr. Ahuja is right in his answer.
So I think the possibility, if you are a manufacturer, are you a manufacturer? Then the possibility of adding value in the cabinetry is immense.
I think it's not working.
Okay. Yeah. We keep talking about hardware, we keep talking about shutter, we keep talking. Nobody talks about kitchen as such. Customer, as Rajesh said, is looking for a total solution. Not the hardware, not the screw, or not what you are using. Now, are you able to create an experience what he is expecting? Are you creating a reference, what Rajesh was talking, that I bought the kitchen, it is really nice, I'm finding it very comfortable, I never had a complaint, so all the neighbors come and buy from him, then you create a value. This way, if you keep comparing, there is always a lesser, lower price. How low will you go? You will never be able to survive. That's what I feel.
And I think we could keep discussing this till the cows come home. But in the meanwhile, let's bring this session to an end. Thank you, Rajesh. Thank you, Ajay. And friends, if you have any more questions, you can always corner these gentlemen later on. And I'm sure they'll oblige. Thank you.